What's up, guys? This is Dylan from Manoa Chocolate, and today we are going to talk about blending. This is something that you don't normally hear about in craft chocolate. It does happen really commonly in industrial chocolate, and that is in order to get a consistent flavor profile. In our case, we're trying to make the very best chocolate possible by blending certain origins that we work with in order to enhance and have different structured flavor profiles that come out as chocolate is melting in your mouth. But first I want to cover a little bit about the industrial side, because this is really interesting and difficult to do. What, say, a big chocolate maker would buy, I'm going to throw a number out there, 10 different origins. Every single year they're going to tweak their recipes in order to try and make it taste the same. And so that's a very challenging thing to do so that nobody notices the flavor actually changing. And so that's a bunch of people's job to sit there and play with the recipes that way. In our case, we like to celebrate the flavor differences because it's more of like fine wine. We want every year, we know it's going to taste different because of the ferment, because of whatever terroir elements and how much it rained and how much sun there was will affect the flavor of the cacao. Even ferment to ferment, we notice differences throughout just the 6-month window that cacao is in production. And so what we would do is roast specific origins as best we possibly can. In this case, we'll use our real examples. We're blending 4 different origins in this. And originally I was going to do 25% of each origin, but I wanted to increase the amount of Esmeraldas from Ecuador because I love the base chocolate, nutty, floral, and slightly like cherry fruity characteristics of it. And then I wanted to lessen the amount of acidity from the Tanzania, because Tanzania is one of my favorite origins, but it has so much acetic acid in it that I wanted to contribute that to the overall batch because acidity can help balance everything, but I didn't want to add 25%. So I went down to an eighth, and then I increased the difference into the Ecuador Esmeraldas. And so to me, that was a really nice balance. What we did is roast those to the point where the Tanzania, it's still unapologetically fruity, because that's what I like out of it. And then we roasted Ecuador as best we could, which is a little more in the medium roast category because I wanted to bring out more base chocolate notes. And so we blended that into the ball mill. That was ball mill number 1. So that was 120 kilos of chocolate that then gets transferred over to our conch, and we could then begin conching that. And I did that ball mill first because I wanted to mellow or volatilize more of the acetic acid in the Tanzania and even the Ecuador to try and balance that out. And then the second ball mill is half Dominican Republic from Zorzal, and then the other half is Peru. And both of those are really nice together as well. But remember, everything's getting mixed in the conch after the second ball mill. And so for Dominican Republic, it's got more of these base fudgy chocolate notes. It's got more coffee kind of flavors. I don't get a lot of fruit in it, at least the way we do it, because we do a little bit of a darker roast on that one on purpose. Whereas Peru is more of this balanced overall, nutty, slightly floral, lightly fruity chocolate that's just going to contribute everywhere. It's going to just be a pretty well-rounded chocolate. And so those two then went together, and then those got transferred to the conch, and then we completed our overnight conching cycle, and it just created the most beautiful chocolate this way by doing a blend. And you always see this in, let's go back to wine. In Rhone Valley, there's often 2 or 3 grapes that are always blended together. You got Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, usually Grenache, Syrah. A lot of Bordeaux is usually a blend of 2 to 5 grapes. You usually see Cab Heavy or Merlot blended together. So now we're going to direct our attention to this beautiful chocolate. We're going to taste it and we're going to talk about it. Okay, so I am getting a lot of the Ecuador in the very beginning, and then I can taste a strong Dominican in the middle, meaning like I get that fudgy, deep chocolate, lightly coffee, and then it's so well rounded because of the Peru, which is that nutty, floral, fruity note, lightly fruity, and then at the end I'm getting more of that Tanzania acidity and some more of that floralness, which is probably a contribution from the Esmeraldas in Ecuador. But just such a nice chocolate, because even now, I tasted that, 10 seconds ago, 15 seconds ago, I can still taste it. There's still a lot happening. And that's, to me, one way you can really tell if chocolate's good or not. If it's all balanced, nothing offensive, and you can taste it quite a bit after it's already melted and you swallowed it. That's good chocolate. So I'm very happy with this batch, as you can tell. I know this hasn't been talked a lot about. It's really fun to do. It's our expression of what is the best chocolate for us. So get out there, go blend, have fun, happy chocolate making. We'll see you next time.